Hello, good morning to everybody. Dear students, I want to make a clarification first of all. I have taken a class on two deer. Says two deer by Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy. But one mistake has been done there. Two deer is a short story or lesson, but it has come under the group of, it is titled as poem. So just correct it. It is not poem, it is lesson, a short story. Two deer, it is a short story, not a poem. Yes. Next, we will move on to another thought-provoking essay. That is, everything I need to know, I learned in the forest. Everything I need to know, I learned in the forest. This forest is nothing but nature. This essay, the thought-provoking essay, is written by Vandana Shiva. Vandana Shiva is an internationally renowned activist for biodiversity. Biodiversity. She is not only nationally renowned, internationally renowned activist, Vandana Shiva. The activist relating to biodiversity and against corporate, and against, she is a biodiversity activist and against corporate globalization. Globalization means Jagatikar. She is totally against to corporate globalization. She is in favor of biodiversity, which she learned from nature or forest. Everybody, when we read this essay, we ourselves evaluate ourselves that whether we have learned anything from the forest, what we really need to lead our life on this earth. This is a thought comes to the mind of every reader when he reads this. Yes, she wrote this article. That means everything I need to know, I learned in the first. This is article or a thought-provoking essay. She wrote this article for the issue titled, "What could nature do?" What could nature do? For whom? For the human beings, especially for the human beings, not other creatures. The forest or the nature, what could nature do? Or we can turn this what could nature nisarga. Innondu artha andre swabhava, behavior of man, behavior of human being. What could nature do? What could human nature has to do? That means human beings. What would nature has given plenty of resources to human beings and so other creatures also. But man thinks that he is only the being to reside on this earth. This is totally wrong according to Vandana Shiva. So, this is the what could nature do. For this issue titled, she has written this thought-provoking essay. The whole lesson or the whole essay or whole article talks about environmental concepts. Environmental concepts. The whole article talks about or throws light on these environmental concepts. What are the concepts? I will deal with them in my next class. Like, I will simply tell you biodiversity. Simply, like I will tell you in a brief, the environmental concepts related to biodiversity and Earth as a living organism. Earth as a living organism. We think that, everybody of human being think that Earth is a dead Earth. We can exploit any resources from this earth because the resources are to us only. This is the thought among the human beings, but that is not so. All the resources are there, of course, obviously, are there for beings or human beings, but not for only for the human beings. This has to be taught by the human beings. This has to be understood by the human beings. What Vandana Shiva proposes to say in this article is this one. All the resources of the nature is not confined to you, that means human beings only. There are other creatures. So this one, human beings, Earth as a living organism. We have to treat that Earth is also a living organism, not a dead Earth. There comes a special point on dead Earth. I will deal with it in my next class. The lesson has actually two parts. The essay, we can classify that into two main clubs. First one is, in the first part, what Vandana Shiva tried to reveal is, the author tells us that how she learned the basic principles, how she learned the basic principles from the forest, principles of which? Of environment. The first lessons, all the basic principles learned by Vandana Shiva about environment in the forest. So she says, I have learned the basic principles of environmentalism from the uneducated woman of Gadwal, Himalaya, from whom Vandana Shiva learned. Vandana Shiva is a doctorate writer. But this Vandana Shiva has learned the basic principles of environmentalism from whom? Peasant and uneducated woman of Gadwal, of Himalaya region. See the irony. Being an educated person, Vandana Shiva, she has to learn some basic principles of environmentalism from the peasant or uneducated woman of Gadwal, that is in Himalaya region. And how she became, then after learning the basic principles from these men, these women, she became activist, pro-activist of environmentalism. In the second part, she presents a historical account. In the second part, she presents an historical account of how the concept of earth as a living entity, it's not a dead earth, it is a living entity. She comes to know that earth is not a dead earth. It is not only meant for exploiting resources. It is also a living organism, and God transferred to earth as a dead matter and its consequences. How the living organism, earth as a living organism, turned by the human beings into dead earth. Is it good for the humanity? Is it good for the human beings? This what Vandana Shiva discussed in this thought-provoking essay, that is everything I need to know I learned in the forest. I have written here, the forest is nothing but the nature. I repeat, the nature she learned from the forest. What she need to know, everybody has some needs, necessaries to know, to have knowledge. Your knowledge may come from the forest. What Vandana Shiva appeals from this article. And in my next class, I will make a brief notes of what she has written in this thought-provoking essay. Thank you very much.